a second. The only announcement I have is just for any brothers and sisters that are not aware. This Sunday there is an Arbaeen march in London. I think a good number of our community are going. It's a marble arch in London, which is Hyde Park area, and it starts at midday till 5 o'clock. So inshallah, we had a interest form to see if people wanted to go together, but I think lots of people are making their own way. So inshallah, we'll see some of you there, but there's no group travel, inshallah. So we'll see you in London, inshallah, if you are attending. Just a reminder that Sunday at midday at Marble Arch in London. Inshallah, we'll welcome the Sheikh with a loud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Saturday and Sunday, alhamdulillah. Saturday and Sunday, yeah. 2 marches. And don't tell me why. Don't ask me why. Alhamdulillah, barak, inshallah. Give some more material to the far right. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم أعظم الله أجوركم يا سيدي ويا مولاي يا صاحب الزمان صلى الله عليك يا سيدي ويا مولاي يا رسول الله صلى الله عليك وعلى آل بيتك المظلومين المشردين المقتلين لعن الله الظالمين لكم من الأولين والآخرين صلى الله عليك يا سيدي ويا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله يا ابن رسول الله يا رحمة الله الواسعة ويا باب نجاة الأمة غريب عطشان ذبيح ما خاب من تمسك بكم وأمن من لجأ إليكم سادتي فيا ليتنا ثم يا ليتنا كنا معكم فنفوز والله فوزا عظيما قم جددي الحزن في 20 من صفري ففيه ردت رؤوس الآل للحفري وسل رأس حسين غاب رونقه أم نوره مخجل للشمس والقمر وسل عن اللؤلؤ المنظوم في فمه لعله بعد قرع غير منتشر واستحكي عن شعرات في كريمته فدايت طلعت ذاك الشيب في شعري لهفي على النسوة الحزنى محملتان هي على النياق تشيل النعي في هي السفري وين وياي يا والدي كربلاء من بعد رحلتهم يا والدي كربلاء من بعد رحلتهم هي عنها إلى بقعة تهتيك ويا هي شهري يا زائري بقعة أطفالها ذبحت هي فيها خذوت يا زائرين بقعة أطفالها ذبحت فيها خذوت البهاء كحلا إلى البصر هي ولهفتا لبنات الطهر حين رنت إلى مصارع قتلاهن والحفر رمينا بالنفس من فوق النياق على تلك القبور بصوت هائل عذل فتلك تدعو حسين وهي لاطمة منها الخدود ودمع العين كالمطر يا دافن الرأس عند الجثة احتفظوا بالله لا تنثروا تربان على قمري لا تدفنوا الرأس لا عند مرقده فإنه روضة الفردوس والزهر لا تغسلوا الدم من أطراف لحيته خلوا عليها خباب الشيب والكبر. Rise, renew grief on the 20th of Safar, for then the heads of the family were returned to the graves, cover and ask, has Hussein's head lost its radiant grace? Or does its light still shame the sun and the moon's face, and ask of the pearls arranged in his mouth? Perhaps after the strikes they are no longer arranged, and speak of the few hairs, and speak of the hairs of his daughter, his young daughter, Sayyidah Ruqayya, or speak of the hair of his pure beard, and speak of the hairs on his noble beard. I'd ransom that side the silver in the hair, my sorrow for the grieving woman laden with despair. On camels they bore lament through the journey's air. Oh, my father, Karbala, after they departed away, they were taken to the lands of shame and public display. Oh, visitor to a land in who the children were slain, their beauty you took as kohl for your eyes. Alas, for the daughters of purity when they saw, and they came to the places of their beloved, martyrs and their graves, they threw themselves down from the camel's height. Imagine how their hearts must have been, that they were not there for the burial of the shuhada. They were made to leave the shuhada in such a sight and in such a manner. And now after 40 days they are coming to be able to actually bid farewell to their martyrs. What kind of emotions must have been going into their hearts? The poem, he describes this, and he says, the poet describes this. They threw themselves from the camel's height upon those graves with a cry full of horror. Hey, of horror. One quotes for Hussein, her hand striking, lamenting. Her cheeks are struck and her tears like heavy rain, like heavy rain. Ah, oh, you who buried the head near the body, beware. By God, do not scatter soil upon that moon so fair, because they had brought the heads to bury them as well. Do not bury the head except at the the body's resting place, for it is a garden of paradise with flowers all around. Do not wash the blood from the edges of his pure beard. Leave the waves of grey and years revert. And leave the waves of grey and the years revert. It is narrated by Sayyid ibn Tawus that on the day of Ashura, after the martyrs were martyred, after the accursed Umayyad army had slaughtered Sayyid al-Shuhada, that the cursed soldiers of the Umayyad army started to attack the camp of Imam al-Hussein, and they started to loot the daughters of Rasulullah. At that, as these people were attacking them, the daughters of the Holy Prophet, they all came out of their tents, lamenting and mourning. Hamid ibn Muslim says, I saw a woman from the tribe of Bani Bakr ibn Wa'il, who had come with her husband, who was on the side of Umar ibn Sa'd. When she saw what the people were doing to the daughters and the women folk of Al-Hussein in their tents, and as they were looting them, she took a sword and she came towards the tents, and she said, "O family, O clan of Bakr ibn Wa'il, can it be that the daughters of Rasulullah are being looted? May Allah not judge. There is no judge and law except Allah's. I stand up against you with vengeance on behalf of Rasulullah." At that, her husband comes and he takes her back towards their side. The women folk of Al-Bayt, they come out of their tents as fire was kindled in their tents. The cursed ones were taking their face coverings. At that, some of the women folk, they see the bodies of their shuhada. And they see the bodies of their shuhada, and they start to call out to them out of mourning. One of the cursed ones, or one of the narrators, he says that I can still remember Zainab, the daughter of Ali, as she was mourning her brother Al-Hussein, and she was calling out with a very sad call and a broken heart, "Ya Jaddah, Ya Muhammadah, Salla alayka Malik as-Sama, Hada Husayn murammal bid-dima, Muqatta' al-a'ta wa banatuka sabaya, wa ila Allah al-mushtaka, wa ila Muhammad al-Mustafa, وإلى علي المرتضى وإلى فاطمة الزهراء ومحمدا هذا حسين محزوز الرأس من القفا مسلوب العمامة والردى بأبي من أضحى عسكره يوم الاثنين نهبا بأبي من فسطاته مقطع العرى بأبي من لا هو غائب فيرتجى ولا جريح فيداوى بأبي من نفس له الفداء بأبي المهموم حتى قضى بأبي العطشان حتى مضى. Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam was calling out, and she was complaining to her grandfather, saying that, "Oh grandfather, may the angels of, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the King of the heavens, all the angels of the heavens, may they send down their barakat and their blessings to you. This is Hussein, your grandson, who has been cut, his body has been cut pieces by pieces to limbs, his limbs have been severed, and your daughters are now being taken captives. We complain to Allah, oh Rasulullah, this is Hussein, your Hussein, whose head has been cut from the back, and his imma and his possessions have been looted. Oh Allah, may I be sacrificed, may my father be sacrificed for Hussein, who passed away thirsty. At that the people who are around, they could hear the cries of Sayyidah Zainab, and they started to mourn and weep upon hearing her speech. Then the daughters of Rasulullah, the next day they were taken to the city of Kufa. But I remember one very sad happening. Umar ibn Sa'd al-La'in and Shimr, they wanted to break their hearts even more. So as they were taking their caravan, they were taking them towards Kufa, they made them purposely pass by where the bodies of the shuhada were, where the headless bodies of the shuhada were. At that Sayyidah Zainab, she sees the body of Imam al-Hussein. She wanted to throw herself onto the body of Hussein. But at that, Imam Zain al-Abidin tells her that, oh my aunt, I am by myself. There is no other man to help you from your maharim. And I am sick, as you see. So have mercy upon my state and my condition. Bid farewell to your brother from the top of the camel. At that, they are taken to the city of Kufa. It is said that Umar ibn Sa'd sent the head of Imam al-Hussein. Umar ibn Sa'd sent the head of Imam al-Hussein with Khawli ibn Yazid al-Asbahi and Hamid ibn Muslim to Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad and the rest of the heads of the Ashab al-Hussein and Ahl al-Bayt. They had been cut and they had been sent with Shimr and Qais ibn al-Ash'af. And as they came towards the city of Kufa, and Ibn Sa'd, he was bringing the captives of Ahl al-Bayt with him. As they took them, they were parading them as if these were captives of war. They entered the city of Kufa. All of the people started to look at these people who had come. One of the women folk, she was on top of her home. She asked, who are you? From which captives are you? At that, the daughters of Ali, they respond, we are nahnu usara ali Muhammad. We are the captives of Ali Muhammad. That woman comes down from the top of her house and she gathers some clothes for the women folk. She gives these to them so that they could cover their faces. But the people of Kufa were still looking on towards the daughters of Rasulullah. One of the narrators, he mentions, Bashir ibn Khuzaym al-Asadi, that the people of Kufa, upon coming to know that these were the Ahl al-Bayt, they started to weep and they started to weep. At that, Sayyidah Zainab alayha salam, she gives them a speech. She gives them a speech that makes all of them tremble and that makes them even weep more. This is followed by speeches by al-Kulthum and also a speech by Sayyidah Fatima as-Sughra, who was 11 years old, the daughter of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam, he also gives them the speech. It is narrated that Imam Zain al-Abidin, he gestures to the people to be silent, so they fell silent. And at that, after praising Allah and invoking the blessings upon His Prophet, Imam Zain al-Abidin, he says, O people, whoever knows me has known me, and whoever does not know me, I am Ali ibn al-Hussein. I am the son of al-Hussein who was slaughtered at the bank of the Euphrates without having committed any offense or inherited any claim. I am the son of the one whose sanctity was violated, whose bliss was taken, whose wealth was plundered, and whose family has been taken captive. I am the son of the one who was killed while he remained patient, and that is enough of an honor for us. O people, I implore you by Allah, do you not know that you wrote to my father deceiving him? At the end of the khutbah of Imam Zain al-Abidin, the people of Kufa then came to understand the grand sin that they had committed, and they started to weep. Then the Mawqib, or then the Sabaya, the captives of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, were taken to the palace of Ibn Ziyad. Here when they entered, Ibn Ziyad asked for all people to be taken, and he ordered for the head of Imam al-Hussein to be put in front of him. And he started to smile by looking at the severed head of Imam al-Hussein, and he started to hit it with his whip, hitting the teeth of Imam al-Hussein. And as he was doing so, he was saying, لَقَدْ كَانَ حَسَنُ الثَّغْرِ. At that, one of the people, Anas ibn Malik, he started to weep, and he started to say that he was the most of all people who resembled Rasulullah, and he was indeed a very handsome person. Zayd ibn Arqam, he was one of the elder ashab of Rasulullah, and as he came over there, he was seeing what was happening. He shouted out to Ibn Ziyad that, "Oh Ibn Ziyad, lift your whip from these lips of Al-Hussein, that I swear I saw Rasulullah would kiss his grandson." And then he starts to weep. Here Ibn Ziyad, he became extremely angry, and he told him that if you are not an old person who has lost his mind, I would have ordered for you to be killed. Then the captives, after the dialogue that happened between them, they were between Imam Zain al-Abidin and Sayyid Zainab and Ibn Ziyad. They were paraded thereafter from the different cities, from Iraq to Turkey to Syria, Lebanon and Sham. It is mentioned in the books of history that when they arrived the city of Sham, Sahal ibn Sa'd al-Sa'idi, he had come out to Bayt al-Maqdis, after which he came to Ash-Sham. Here there was a lot of people. He saw that they had gathered and they were preparing for a celebration. He said in his heart, I do not know, do the people of Sham have a new Eid, have a specific Eid I don't know about? At that, as he came along, he saw that there are captives amongst them. The people of Sham, the people who, as he was looking at them and he was asking, he asked, Ya qawm, lakum bishami Eidun la na'rifuh. That, O people, do you have an Eid, O people of Sham, that I do not know about? They tell him that you seem to be strange. At that, some of the people who were there, he tells them, I am a person who has seen Rasulullah. At that, some of the good people who knew what had happened, they tell him that, O Sa'd, ma a'jabak, السماء لا تمطر دما والأرض لا تخسف بأهلها. That what we are extremely surprised, that the sky does not rain blood and the earth does not swallow up its people. He tells them why, what is wrong, what has happened. And he is told, this is the head of Hussein ibn Ali. He is told, these are the heads of Ahl al-Bayt, the companions of Hussein. These are the women folk of Rasulullah. They were brought to Bab al-Sa'ad ibn Sa'd at that place, he comes to speak to one of them. And he comes close to one of the ladies. He asks her that, "Oh daughter, who are you?" She tells her, "I am Sukaina, the daughter of Hussein." He tells her that, "Oh daughter of Hussein, do you want anything? Can I do anything for you?" That, "I am Sa'd ibn Sa'd, and I am a person who saw your grandfather Rasulullah." She tells him, "We ask you that, oh Sa'd, tell the person who is raising the head of Imam al-Hussein to go in front of us. He is right now in the middle of us women folk. People are looking at the head and they are also pondering at us and our figures. We want people to not look at us, the women folk. If you can give him something so he can go from amongst the women folk to the front." At that, Sa'd ibn Sa'd does that, and that person takes the head away from the women folk. The purity of the daughters of Rasulullah, that even in this state, in this situation, they are thinking about their hijab and their purity. Mu'mineen, what happened in the palace, in the court of Yazid, is extremely difficult for me to even mention. That when the Ahlul Bayt, they are brought, and the women folk are brought to the palace of the court of Yazid, all of them are tied in ropes. And Imam Zain al-Abidin, in his neck, he has al-Jami'ah, that iron collar and the iron cuffs with the chains. That iron collar whose spikes were towards the inside. They had wounded Imam Zain al-Abidin and pierced his flesh throughout this 20-day journey. At that, Yazid, he enters. As he enters, and his people are all over there with him, as if to celebrate. One of the cursed ones asks for Fatima bint al-Hussein, the wife of Al-Hasan al-Muthanna, to be gifted to him as a servant. At that, Fatima, she comes towards her aunt Sayyidah Zainab. She tells her, "Ammata, ayatimtu wa ustakhdam." Is it possible that even my orphanhood, now they want me as their servant? She says, "No, this is not possible. This is not something that Allah will allow. This is not in our religion." Yazid gets angry. She tells him, "No, you will not be allowed to do that except if you accept another religion." At that, Yazid becomes angry. That person asks again. Yazid gets angry towards him, and he tells him to be silent. Here, mu'mineen, as this receiving of the captives of Ahlul Bayt was now turning into a catastrophe and scandal for Yazid, Yazid orders for a member to be put together so that someone can come out and to start to speak. As that person starts to speak, and he starts to say some words, at that Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam tells him that, "Oh Fulan, are you buying the pleasure of a makhluk, of a creature, over the anger of the Khaliq?" At that, this person, he couldn't continue. And here, mu'mineen, it is mentioned that Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam then asks them that, "Oh Yazid, let me speak. Let me speak." At that, the people started to see that, "Let us hear this person. What is he going to say?" Here, Yazid was extremely reluctant to let Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam say anything. At that, upon a lot of pressure, in the end, Yazid accepts, but he knew what was going to happen in the end. Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam begins his sermon by praising Allah, and after that sending salam over the Holy Prophet and his progeny. Imam alayhi salam then he says, "O people, we have been bestowed 6 qualities and 7 merits." The Imam mentions these qualities and these merits. He then draws attention to the criteria indicating the eligibility of Ahlul Bayt for the succession of Muhammad. But here he has to introduce himself, who he is. He tells them, I am the son of Makkah and Mina. I am the son of Makkah and Mina. I am the son of Zamzam and Safa. With this, he was reminding them who he was. He was the grandson of Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam. I am the son of Muhammad. I am the son of the one who was taken up to Sidrat al-Muntaha. I am the son of the one who was bestowed revelation. I am the son of Ali, who fought against enemies with two swords. I am the son of Fatima al-Zahra. I am the son of the one who was killed at the Battle of Karbala. I am the son of Hussein, the one who was killed in Karbala. I am the son of the one who was speared in blood and sand. At that, Yazid saw the effect. The people had started to weep. They were cursing Yazid. He asked his mu'adhin to start to recite an adhan just spontaneously. And at each line that the mu'adhin was reciting, Imam Zain al-Abidin was commenting to show that it is he who is associated with that adhan. Mu'mineen, after a few days of being kept in Sham, Yazid saw that this scandal was going to destroy his kingdom. He orders for these captives of Ahlul Bayt to be honored and to be taken away back to Medina. Here it is mentioned that when they came to one of the crossings, the cross paths that would lead to either Medina or Karbala, Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam, she asks Imam Zain al-Abidin to tell the person leading their caravan to take them towards Karbala, to bid a ziyarah, a farewell, and to see and to visit the graves of their beloved ones. It is mentioned as they approached towards Karbala, Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari had sent his companion Atiyah al-Awfi to go and see if there was anyone. Atiyah told him that I can see somebody coming. Jabir was blind. So Jabir tells him, go and investigate who is coming. Is it again the Umayyads? They have come to even do some more damage, or people against those people who are visiting the grave. Atiyah goes and he finds that this is the caravan of Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam. As he comes, Imam Zain al-Abidin, he speaks with Jabir and he tells them, Jabir, as he's brought close to Imam Zain al-Abidin, he falls to the feet of Imam Zain al-Abidin and he kisses them and he tells them, Sayyidi, عظم الله لك الأجر بأبيك الحسين. Sayyidi, عظم الله لك الأجر بعمومتك وإخوتك. That, oh my master, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept your grief and increase your reward for your musibah, for Sayyid al-Shuhada, for your father and for your uncles and for your brothers. Imam tells him, Anta Jabir, are you Jabir? He says, Naam Sayyidi, I am Jabir. Imam alayhi salam knows who this person is and what rank he has and right and special status in front of Rasulullah. He tells him, Ya Jabir, ha huna qutila Abu Abdullah al-Husayn, wa ya Jabir, ha huna dhubihat atfaluna. يا جابر ها هنا والله قتلت رجالنا وسبيت نساؤنا وأحرقت خيامنا. That, oh Jabir, this is where my father was martyred. This place is where our children were slaughtered. Oh Jabir, this is where our men were killed, where our women folk were taken captives. Oh Jabir, this is where the camp and the tents of Imam al-Hussein were burnt. Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam comes then towards the graves, and she sees Banu Asad and their women folk that were also there now. The lisan al-hal, as it is mentioned in some of the poetry. Ya nazilina bi Karbala hal indakum. Ya nazilina bi Karbala hal indakum. Khabarun bi qatlana wa ma أعلامها ما بال جثة ميتين في أرضكم بقيت ثلاثا لا يزار مقامها. Here the lisan hal of Sayyidah Zainab alayha salam, as she is asking the people who are over there, this is lisan al-hal, what was in her heart, the words of the heart. Hear, who you descend right here by Hussein's grave. Guide me near and then to the one so high, the one who was known for giving. I wish to go with all my plea and say, O full moon of my heart, how could you let the people curse at me? She fell from the camel's side, the sisters of Hussein beside. She stumbles, calling loud and plain, oh, brother of Hussein, where is your grave, oh my brother? I've come with the orphans, oh my brother who died in thirst that day. I've come and brought your orphans. Look at how my bone and my flesh has worn away from sleepless nights. Oh Hussein, today I tell you, I wish I never saw that road. Oh brother Satan, let me tell you, the state I'm in through this. We walked in pain and in grief without any relief. In Ibn Ziyad's Kufa, as we were there, your bodies were still laying on the ground, on dust, on sand. If you had seen the way that they were taking us captives, the one who was leading our caravan, he would recite verses of curse towards our father. Each hour and every now and then an orphan would fall. All the heads were all held on the spears to my right and left. I think one thing that Sayyidah Zainab must have told Imam al-Hussein, that, oh my brother, they wouldn't even let us weep on the road, because when we would weep, they would strike us with their whips for us to keep quiet. When we reach Sham, oh cruel Sham, whose very name is bitter, I wish I had been buried in my grave before stepping in the land of Sham. Oh brother, my tongue grows tired for horrors that I witnessed there. At the gate beneath the towers, before us they waved all flags of celebration. I prayed, I wish you were still alive, so that you would have buried me instead of me, witnessing this in Sham. Oh brother, how can I describe that roofless ruined house in which they made us stay as captives? The tragedies that we saw over there, broken walls without a bed, we laid and slept on the dirt beneath us. And in that space, your daughter Ruqayya Fatima died. And now today there is no kin to guard her grave. I stayed there, oh Hussein, as I saw her lifeless body. She had passed away with tears remembering you. And Ali was covered in chains. Oh my brother, I speak to you, but you are not answering me. Mu'mineen, do you think that she had something to say to Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas alayhi salam? Yes, I think so. Lisan al-hal, and we reached you, Abu al-Fadl, but none of you came forth to help us down from the camels. These heads we have brought for you to see. These heads we have brought for you to see. And Hussein's head, but I seek your forgiveness. And Hussein's head, his teeth have been broken. The tragedy of what happened to Hussein's mouth, I cannot frame, I cannot speak. Hear from us that, oh, my brother, Yazid's face and his words, he was gloating at us, and Abu al-Fadl, you were staying there. I wish you were alive to come and to help us. Ya nazilin nabi Karbala, hal indakum khabarun biqat lana wa ma i'lamuha ma halu juthati mayyitin في أرضكم بقيت ثلاثا لا يزار مقامها إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. يا حسين يا حسين يا حسين يا حسين يا حسين يا حسين يا الله أحسنت.
اینا و شهیدا و حسینا و شهیدا و حسینا. آمدم از شام غم جان حسین بنگر مرا تا بگویم شرح مظلومی گلهای تو را. تا بگویم از خرابه، از رقیه، از حسین. پای زخمی را دهم اینک نشانت ای حسین. زینبم المصیبت، آمدم بهر زیارت. کی شناسی تو مرا ای برادر، ای برادر. وا حسینا وا شهیدا، وا حسینا وا شهیدا. بشکند دستی که آن رگهای حلقومت برید، بشکند دستی که آن رگهای حلقومت برید. گوشواره ای حسین از گوش طفلانت کشید. ای برادر این 40 روزم ندانی چون گذشت. ای برادر این 40 روزم ندانی چون گذشت. شب و روزم در کنار نیزه پرخون گذشت. کن دعا زینب بمیرد، بعد تو ماتم نگیرد. ای برادر خیز و بنگر خواهرت را، خواهرت را. وا حسینا وا شهیدا، وا حسین وا حسینا. ای برادر گویم اینک شرح هجران تو را. ای برادر گویم اینک شرح هجران تو را. اربعینت شد دوباره آمدم من قتلگاه. از خرابه بی رقیه آمدم تا کربلا. از خرابه بی رقیه آمدم تا کربلا. زینبت شرمنده است اینک ببخشا تو مرا. زینب آمد از خرابه، قلب او از غم کبابه. ای برادر خیز و بنگر خواهرت را، خواهرت را. وا حسینا وا شهیدا، وا حسینا وا شهیدا. عطر خاک کربلایت ای حسین دل میبرد. عطر خاک کربلایت ای حسین دل میبرد. کشتی غمهای این دل را به ساحل میبرد. ای تو مصباح هدایت، ای سفینه ای حسین. با چه رویی من روم اندر مدینه ای حسین. دارم از مادر خجالت، گر بگیرد او سراغت. من چه گویم گر بپرسد کو حسینم، کو حسینم. وا حسینا وا شهیدا، وا حسینا.
يا حسين ومصابه ولأجل العين سجابه. أخويا ويا روحي الهادي وزينب تولد وتنادي. يا حسين ومصابه عالغاضرية الضاعن لمن أشرف. عالغاضرية الضاعن حالة حزن حالة حزن مرت وما تتوصف، كل طفلة نسمعها تصيح، كل طفلة نسمعها تصيح، روس الأهل جبناها، روس الأهل جبناها، وصلاوي وشافا وجابر الأنصاري، لقاهم ودمع النواظر جاري، يصرخ وينشر فوق راس الذاري، دمعة ومناحة وآهات، دمعة ومناحة وآهات، للعايلة تلقاها، للعايلة تلقاها، خاطب السجاد بمسيل المدمع، يا جابر هنا جسم ابو يتقطع، وهنا علي الأكبر وقع بالمصرع، وهنا يا جابر أجساد، وهنا يا جابر أجساد، ذار الترب وراها، ذار الترب وراها، وهنا يا جابر جسم جسام صار، وهنا يا جابر جسم جسام صار، طفوا شموعه وصارت الحنة خضار، وهنا نحر عبد الله صاب النشاب، وهنا يا جابر أبدان، وهنا يا جابر أبدان، برواحنا تفناها، برواحنا تفناها، وهنا يا جابر للحرم سلبوها، وهنا يا جابر للحرم سلبوها، وهنا خيمنا بنارهم حرقوها، وهنا شفت أطفالنا سحقوها، كم طفلة من بين الخيل، كم طفلة من بين الخيل، تركضي وجريناها، تركضي وجريناها، ما قلت لي يا جابر قمر هاشم وين، عفناه يم المشرع بلا جفين، عفنا وعفنا السهم نابت بالعين، رايته وسيفه والجود، رايته وسيفه والجود، يا جفوفه ودعناها، يا جفوفه ودعناها، رحنا بيسر يا جابر وعفنا بدور، واليوم جينا وشفنا بالطف قبور، دنيانا ظلمة علينا من عقب النور، من اليسر ردينا اليوم، والروس رديناها، والروس رديناها، رديناها والروس رديناها. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين وعلى أبي الفضل العباس وعلى الحوراء زينب ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم إنا نسألك وندعوك ونتوجه إليك بوجهك الكريم ورحمتك التي وسعت كل شيء يا الله، وبأحب الخلق إليك نبيك محمد وآل بيت نبيك. اللهم لا تدع مريضا إلا شافيته، ولا فقيرا إلا أغنيته، ولا غائبا إلا واعدته وحفظته يا رب العالمين يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم وفقنا لما يرضيك، اجعل عواقب أمورنا إلى خير في الدنيا والآخرة، بارك لنا فيما أعطيتنا يا الله. إلى أرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات والعلماء والشهداء ومن مات على الإيمان، وإلى أرواح موتى الحاضرين نهدي جميع ثواب الفاتحة مع الصلوات.